Did you know that only 3 banks laid the foundation for today's powerful America? When America did not have its own strong currency, nor an organized economy, just then, 3 banks came and changed the course of history. When looking at the banking history of the United States, the names of 3 different banks come to the fore as the oldest. But the interesting thing is, these 3 have 3 different importance. Some were the saviors of wars, some were the craftsmen of modern banking, and some have survived for hundreds of years. In today's video, we will see the stories of those 3, mysterious and historic, banks that saved America from bankruptcy and put it on the path to becoming the superpower it is today. Let's get started. Bank, the Bank of North America. Founded December 31st, 1781. Official operations began on January 7th, 1782. Who created it? Robert Morris, then Secretary of the Treasury. Alexander Hamilton also played an important role in it. 2. Why was it created? War expenses. To raise emergency funds for the American Revolutionary War. Anti-inflation. Paper money had no value in the market at that time. This bank was opened to stabilize the value of the currency. 3. What were the main functions? Issue paper money. This was the first bank in America to officially issue paper notes against gold or silver. Loans to the government. The bank lent money directly to the government to pay soldiers, salaries and buy ammunition. Accepting deposits. Introduced the modern method of keeping money from ordinary people and lending it to businesses. Point 4. What is the current status? The bank no longer bears that name. Over the years, it has merged with various banks to become part of the now famous Wells Fargo Bank. In short, it was the first successful official bank to meet the war crisis in America. The Bank of New York. 1. Year and place of establishment. Date of establishment, June 9, 1784. Location, New York City. It was the first bank in New York City. 2. Founder, Alexander Hamilton. It was founded by one of the framers of the American Constitution and the first Treasury Secretary. He himself wrote the bank's charter or rules. 3. Why was it created? Purpose: to eliminate economic chaos. After the War of Independence, the economy of New York was very bad. There was no orderly banking system, which it was created to fix. Commercial loans, to provide loans to local merchants and ship owners to run their businesses. Lack of proper currency. At that time, there were various types of foreign currencies in the market. This bank introduced its own notes or coins to bring transparency in transactions. 4. Main works and contributions. First government loan. In 1789, when the new federal government of America first needed a loan, this bank gave the government money. First on the stock exchange. When the New York Stock Exchange opened in 1792, this bank was the first company whose shares began to be traded there. 5. Current status. It is the oldest bank in America that still survives today. In 2007, it merged with the Mellon Financial Company. Its current name is the Bank of New York Mellon, or BNY Mellon for short. Summary: it was created in 1784 by Alexander Hamilton to rebuild the collapsed economy of New York after the war. This served as the foundation of the modern banking system in America. First Bank of the United States. 1. Year and period of establishment. Date of establishment, President George Washington signed the bill for this bank on February 25, 1791. Term of operation. It received a charter for 20 years, 1791 to 1811. Location: Philadelphia. 2. Founder: Alexander Hamilton. He was the first Secretary of the Treasury of America. This national bank was mainly created due to his planning and hard work. 3. Why was it created? Purpose: repaying the national debt. After the War of Independence, America had a lot of debt. This bank was needed to centrally manage and pay off those debts. Single currency system. At that time, different states had different currencies, which was difficult for business. This bank introduced notes to maintain the same currency value throughout the country. Fiscal agent of the government. It was created to deposit government taxes or revenues, and to lend directly to the government when necessary. 4. What were the main functions? Banknote issue. This bank issued paper money, note. That was acceptable throughout the country. Commercial loan. It kept the country's economy afloat by lending not only to the government, but also to ordinary businessmen and industrialists. Regulation. It monitored other small and private banks so that they did not cause inflation by printing excess money. 5. End of the bank and current status. Opposition. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison were strongly opposed to this bank. They believed that it was unconstitutional and only benefited the rich. Closure. When its 20-year term expired in 1811, Congress refused to extend its term. As a result, it was closed. Building. The historic building of this bank in Philadelphia is still reserved for tourists. In a word, it was America's first national bank, which Hamilton created to put the country's chaotic economy on an orderly structure.